Hi, it's Joel here, and this week we are launching a new campaign to ask the federal government to review how it measures the cost of living. Now, the central metric, the central measure the Australian government and the RBA use to measure the increasing cost of living is the Consumer Price Index, the CPI. Now, last year they say it went up by 3.5%, and we think that number just does not pass the pub test when you look at the real life experience of Australians and the cost of living at the moment. So we're asking them to review the CPI urgently, because that consumer price index is a major influence on everything from wages to pensions to monetary policy and interest rates, and ultimately on property prices. And this is the thing. The CPI at present, the calculation of the CPI does not include the massive property price increases over the past year, and also the massive increase in regional rents over the past year. And we think that is a blindness that is unforgivable in the current climate. Now, why? Why doesn't it? Well, it's because when somebody sells a property to somebody else, that's an exchange of value, and what the CPI measures is only the cost of new dwellings and capital city rents, not necessarily established houses being sold from one person to another. That's a major flaw, we think, particularly in light of the last year, when the average property price in Australia went up by 22%, and the average house price went up by more than that. In regions where there's been this enormous once-in-a-generation demographic shift of people from the cities to the regions, and regional families are often finding it difficult to afford to rent in the place that they've been living all their life, there's been a 12% increase average in regional rents around the country last year. And that also has not been included in that CPI figure, which is being used to determine everything from government policy to RBA policy, ultimately interest rates, wages, pensions, and how prices change. So if you're a first home buyer and you're having to buy into the property market for the first time, there's a new report out today from Impact Economics and Policy. You can read the full report on our website, and that report says that actually the real cost of living last year rose by 74% more than the official CPI figure for first home buyers. That won't be news to you if you're a first home buyer, but it's a significant number for the rest of us and for policymakers. If you're a regional renter, then the new report on our website from Dr. Angela Jackson at Impact Economics and Policy says that the real cost of living went up by 25% more than the CPI for regional renters last year. Again, that won't be news to regional renters, but as I say, we believe that the official data, 3.5% increase in the cost of living last year, does not pass the pub test, and we are calling today for an urgent review of the Consumer Price Index by the Australian government. You can sign a petition on our website saying that you want the government to review the CPI from today, and we hope to get enough numbers on that petition, enough names to really force the issue and see if we can get some movement on this and bring forward whenever the next review of the CPI is meant to happen, because obviously it needs some work. So please sign the petition, please read the report if you've got the time, and please, if you think that the cost of living is rising by more than the official 3.5%, then make your voice heard, because frankly, if people don't make their voices heard, that message won't get through to government that we think that number is broken. And if the number isn't fixed, then all the things that flow on from that number, all the government policies, all the wages and pensions that are pegged to that number, the interest rates, the property prices, they won't be fixed either. So that's it for this week. Please get involved. We'll be back next week. Have a great week. Keep calm and carry on. Stay saving.